No fair. Hi, I'm Mickey Rooney. Won't you join me for the next half hour here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the capital of the tennis world. We'll be talking about Chris Evert, the darling of the courts. We'll be talking about tennis toggery and the condominiums that draw all of these wonderful tennisites to playing a lot of tennis here in Fort Lauderdale. We'll be right back right after 30:15. You ask yourself, how big is tennis today? Listen, in 1964, in the Fort Lauderdale area, there were about 43 tennis courts. 43 in total. Now there are, and get this, over 700 tennis courts. Nationwide, the growth is a healthy 300%. The roster of both male and female tennis youngsters from here, who have become internationally known champions, is awesome. The most visible superstar, and for good reasons, has been and still is the lovely Miss Chris Evert.
Well, Chrissy, you've been an international hero for what's happened to you in the last couple of weeks, especially at Forest Hills. What about this unmatched reception here in Fort Lauderdale this evening?
Oh, I think it's really great. I really didn't expect it, and I'm really happy to see, the people here.
Barely out of her teens, Chris Evert is ranked #1 women's tennis player by the United States Lawn Tennis Association and Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press.
Jeannie Evert, younger sister to Chris, a champion in her own right. Brian Gottfried, winner of the Alan King Las Vegas Championship. His younger brother, a USLTA champion. Another pretty one, pretty tough to beat too, Laurie Fleming. And her beautiful sister, Carrie, an admired champion also. To add to the long list of champions that are homegrown here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jennifer Ballant, USLTA champion. The list is apparently endless. The fact is that 80% of the national amateur and professional champions are from right here in Florida or in California. Could it be the sunshine?
I think Fort Lauderdale is one of the best places to try to develop your game to get into the professional ranks because of the weather, like I said, and also because of the great competition that we have down here. There's about just about 10 people who you can call up any day of the week who go out and hit balls with you all day long.
You know, friends, the Chris Evert story is incredible. But it's typical of the family-oriented tennis thing here in Florida.
Here we go, and we start over. Are you ready? Move over just a little bit. Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Good shot. Wow, that almost took
we
my
have
hat
tennis
off.
families here, and generally those who are tennis families have the best tennis playing kids. And if the parents aren't involved to any great extent, they don't have to be good players. If they aren't involved, the kids really aren't involved too much until they're able to take it over themselves.
Part of the instruction program we've developed here is to work on the volley, and I've constructed a volley door which we use here all the time. And the purpose of this, which I'm using right now with Scott, and Laurie's helping out with this, is to keep the racket from going back. Get in there, Scott. Let's just see. All right. Now, you're in that ready position to do a volley, and one of the biggest problems is people taking their racket back. Let's see it, Scott. You mean take it back and hit the door. All right, you hit the door, so this is a visual and kind of a obstruction there. So the whole idea is come out of the door, come on, Scott, out of the door and then volley. So the whole idea we talk about, come out of the door, even when we don't have the door here, our students know what they mean. And it seems backhand the same way, come out with the right foot now. You come out and you take the racket out with you. All right, let's just see a ball there, Scott. Let's just see one from Laurie here. All right, let's do it again now. Short punch. All right. All right. Let's try another one. How about the backhand, Laurie? Let's just see the backhand. Come out with the right foot now. You have to come out of the door first.
Suzanne, you're 13 years old now?
Yes.
What grade are you in?
I'm going in 8th.
How long have you actually been playing tennis?
About 4 years, almost 4 years.
And how did you ever get started in playing tennis?
Well, my mom took lessons from Mrs. Graffer, and she got me interested.
What's your ambition, or what's your desire about playing tennis in the future?
Well, I like to be really good. I like to go to Wimbledon or Forest Hills.
You're going to go to college and play tennis in college, or you hope to bypass college and go right on the tour?
I'd like to bypass college and go right on the tour.
You really that interested in it?
Yes.
Have you ever played in the Nationals?
Yes. I lost first round and second round consolation, and Jennifer Hirsch and I did pretty good in the doubles.
Who is Jennifer Hirsch? She's from Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah,
also?
she's from Fort Lauderdale. She's my doubles partner. We got ranked like 9 in the nation.
And what about in the state?
We were ranked 3 in the state.
You play in all the tournaments throughout the state?
Yeah, most of them.
How do you get there?
My mom or dad.
You really enjoy playing tennis that much?
Yeah, I do.
And you really want to keep playing?
Yes.
And what's your schedule on the weekend?
Well, I wake up early and just go and play tennis, and on Sundays I go to church first, and then I go and play.
Do you think Chrissy Evert, Jeannie Evert, and Lori Fleming have been an influence on you in playing tennis?
Yeah, I think they're great.
You ever play with them? Or
I've
Chris?
just returned Chrissy serves before.
You watch her play a lot?
Yeah.
Holiday Park?
Yes.
Is she really your idol?
Mm-hmm.
You like her better than Billie Jean, for example?
Yeah.
You really do?
Uh-huh, she's great. I like the way she plays, and I like her temperament and all on the court.
Who's your favorite player then?
Chrissy.
Who's your second favorite player?
Jeannie and Lori and Carrie and all them. I like the way they all play.
Are you in high school now?
No.
I'm your dad. I ought to know that.
I
know.
Hi, my name is Bill Hughley. I'm the head basketball coach at Fort Lauderdale High School, and tennis has been a very important part of my life for the last 14 years. I've been a teacher. The twins have been playing since they were 3, and my wife started playing about 8 or 9 years ago. And we find that playing tennis is a real enjoyable family get-together on the weekends and whenever we can. We enjoy tennis, and we have a lot of fun. And like most families, we probably have our arguments on the courts, but we get along just fine most of the time. I started working with Jimmy Evert in 1960 at Holiday Park. I think this is probably where the real true picture of tennis in Fort Lauderdale started, with the summer recreation program that the City of Fort Lauderdale Recreation Department sponsors each summer. The program starts in early June and runs through July for a 6-week period. And we have about 450 to 500 kids registered every year in this program. Chrissy Evert and Jeannie Evert, Lori Fleming, Carrie Fleming, Judy Graffer, Jenny Ballant are just a few of the youngsters who started their tennis careers in the tennis program at Fort Lauderdale.
Chris, of course, is an outstanding young lady. She's the product of an unusual environment, a wholesome family with a father who is probably the most famous tennis coach of our era. Let's look at young Chris through the years.
Chrissy is a very quiet youngster. Chrissy acts no different at 19 than she did at 6 years old. She was always like a young lady, much more mature for her age than what she really was. Chrissy is, when you get to know Chrissy, she's a very warm and very open person, but she's not an extrovert. Most youngsters kind of flounder around from one thing to the other, and maybe at a ripe old age of 19 or 20 finally make up their mind. But Chrissy, I think at the age of 7 or 8, really knew what she wanted to be, and she started working towards it. And I think that this is one reason why that she has always acted very mature, and reason why she has the mental attitude that she does is because she made up her mind early in life what her goals were going to be and what she wanted, and she was willing to make all the sacrifices for those goals.
Well, friends, we'll be right back in just a moment to tell you more about Miss Chris Evert, the wonderful world of tennis, tennis toggery, tennis real estate, the people who make tennis live and breathe in Florida. As we have seen, there's a strong family overtone to tennis here in Florida. The outdoorsy, active influence also affects families yet to be.
Oh, you love it. Okay, see you later, honey.
Have a good day.
Bye now. Forehand grips, okay? Racket head starting. Lower than the waist. Ready, Jimmy? A little bit lower. That's it. Drop your racket head. Lower than the waist. Why? Kathy?
Well, I'm a teaching professional in South Florida, but I didn't start out to be one. I originally went to school and got a degree in psychology and came south to get a master's degree.
Good. Let's see him pull back for a forehand.
While going to school, I got a job teaching tennis part-time.
That's it.
But while I was doing this, I discovered I liked teaching tennis,
A little bit
much better than becoming a psychologist. So I go up north to convince my girlfriend. I tell her, this is what I want to do. This is where we should live. This is the life down here. So after convincing her, we got married, and this is where we are. And I find now that my background, my psychology degree, helps me in my teaching of tennis. Because you understand the person more, and you take each student as an individual.
Well, it was the best decision that we ever made to move to Florida, even though I was afraid at first. I have a BS degree in elementary education, which helped me to get my teaching job in Florida. When we start our own family, I truly hope that our own children will grow up wanting to play tennis and doing all the things that South Florida has to offer, and just enjoying the outdoor life. Even now, I think of my girlfriend sitting up in Pennsylvania in the cold winter, and I just bet they would do anything in the world to trade their life right now for mine.
Tennis is a great family sport because the mother and dad can play with the children just as they would with like another couple. Age really isn't a determiner. You don't have to be a certain age to play a good game of tennis. When I first started playing, I played a man that was 62 years old, and he started playing when he was 58, and he just destroyed me on the court, where I was 30 years younger than him and in twice as good a shape, or I thought I was. But I really was never in the game. The youngest I've taught has been 3 years old, which not just one, I've had a few at 3. Mostly they start at age 5. But through teaching these children, you don't stress as much form as you do try and make a little game out of it, make it fun.
Hi, I'm Kathy Jones, and my favorite male tennis player is Bjorn Borg, and female Chris Evert. And I've been playing tennis about 6 months, and I play tennis because I think it's a great sport. You get tanned and you know how to exercise, and it's really fun.
Chris Evert has definitely influenced tennis, especially in South Florida, but not just limited to South Florida. One proof of this is that when I first started teaching tennis, before Chris Evert became real big, the two-handed backhand was not seen that much. Nowadays, you can't hardly go to a public court or any court and not see someone with a two-handed backhand. Chris Evert is definitely responsible for making Fort Lauderdale the tennis capital of the world today, but not solely because she's making a lot of money at it. I think the Evert family would play just as much tennis if there was not as much money involved. But the fact that the tennis is fun and they really enjoy the sport.
Studies have shown us that once you start to play tennis, you tend all through life to keep playing this wonderful, marvelous game.
What about the future now? I know you have to go back to school. What's your next major event? Have you made any plans yet?
I just hope to play Wimbledon this year, and I just hope to, practice really hard for next year at Forest Hills.
This is where it all started. We talked to you about 6-8 weeks ago when you left for the juniors, and of course you won the Eastern. Were you surprised by it all that you did so well, or were you more surprised at the way you've been received all over the country?
I'm really surprised how well I did. I wasn't prepared to do that well on grass courts.
What do you think? How far away do you think you are from really competing with a Billie Jean King or a Margaret Court Smith?
I think a couple years.
One final question. What most did you learn that you have to improve in your game to compete with the best in the world?
I think I should improve my serve and my volley. And I think I should get more power on both of those.
Good. Okay. I know you want to get back to normal, and there's a lot of things ahead of you. Nice to see you, and congratulations from us.
Thank you very much.
We promised you earlier in the program another side of the tennis syndrome, the marvelous people who are not exactly teenagers, but who enjoy life, to whom the tennis world is one they thoroughly enjoy and share together, and to whom tennis is just plain fun.
I'm Dr. Clifford Arlove, living in Fort Lauderdale. I came from New York 5 years ago. I retired then as an oral surgeon, and I've been playing here at the park for all those years. I've joined other clubs, but I seem to I don't like them as well as I do here because I get more play here, and there's a lot of better players here. I got into tennis up in New York. Why, we even built a tennis club up in New York, and I put up money on it, and we built it on top of a roof up there, across from the East Eastern Terminal, the terminal there, 38th Street.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 30 years old. Oh, I'm just 30 now. Oh, 30 years old. About 32, 30, somewhere around there I started.
What's your age now, really?
My age? 70 last May.
Oh, wait.
My name is Al Golub. I come from New Jersey. And my former occupation, I was a concessionaire with the United States Army in dry cleaning, laundry, selling uniforms, etc., etc., etc. When the camp closed about 5 years ago, my wife and I, who used to spend our winters down here, decided that we would come down here because it was so lovely here. And when we found this tennis club, we felt this is the area we want to settle in because of the fine caliber of tennis players that we have here, notwithstanding the fact that Jim Evert was here and Chris Evert was here, and we enjoyed it very much. In fact, when we came here, my wife, who was a non-player, and I've been playing for about 15 years, a weekend player, so to speak, until I got down to Florida. Now I play every single day. We're here from, I'd say anywhere, about 4 hours a day, playing again whenever we can get on the courts. And I met Doc Love. He's one of the gentlemen that I meet here every afternoon. Whenever we can get together.
One of the better players?
I'm 61 years old, and I feel 20. Especially hanging around with Doc Love, man. He's got all the women around here. Everybody wants to play with him, all the women, see? My wife, my wife is behind me right there.
Aha. And now the portion of the program that I love, the fashion show we promised you. And a talk with one of the superstars of the world of tennis fashion. One of the people who design and supply the things tennis people want to buy and wear. We'll be right back.
Fashion started changing in 1964 when Gussie Moran shocked everyone at Forest Hills with her ruffled panties. And now I'm intending to shock everyone with my new screen prints. I just happen to design tennis fashion. I'm Modesta Swift, and these are some of my newest designs.
The tennis business is really big. There are some 22 million registered players in the United States today. At least half of these players are girls, are women. That means that if each girl spends $200 per year on her clothes, it must be at least $50 million. I started the business as a hobby, and having nothing to do all day except to play tennis, I immediately started out looking for tennis dresses. I didn't find exactly what I wanted, so I decided to create my own since my background has been in fashion designing. I created so many cute dresses, and I loved every one of them, that some of my friends kept saying, how about a dress for me? Then I thought to myself, well, why not? Why not do something that would be fun and practical and go into tennis designing? So at this point, I did. And the next thing, I was designing for many, many players, and then I went into the wholesale business. I now have the largest collection of different styles of tennis dresses in the world. I sell to London, Paris, Canada, Australia. I think I have some 30 styles. My clothes are not only designed to look good, but they are very, very playable, very durable, and they withstand many, many washings. I play tennis, and I play tournament tennis. I play on the league. I'm very active in tennis circles, so this way I know just about what every woman wants in a tennis dress. What is the future for tennis fashions, and what is the trend? The most popular summer-type dress is the halter, so you'll be seeing a lot more of the halter tennis dress. Also, midriffs are very popular in the summertime, so you'll be seeing quite a few of these. I don't think you'll see any extreme fashions. I think you'll see more and more coordinated tennis ensembles This is a jacket and a dress or a skirt and a blouse and a sweater. Tennis fashions are the thing of the year.
Just a few years ago, this was a mangrove swamp. Literally, millions have been poured into real estate around Florida, tennis style.
I think one of the interesting things about living in Fort Lauderdale is that the buildings are built around the tennis courts instead of the tennis courts being built around the buildings.
This mind-boggling establishment represents $8 million, the tennis club. Thousands of people from all over the country have purchased apartments in places like this. They live, play tennis, have a lot of fun. They spend as much time as they can here. And, of course, they rent their apartments to other tennis buffs. Is this boom just another fad, so to speak? What of the future? Think about this fact. If only 10% of the populace gets involved in the game of tennis, we're now looking at 2 million people. Potential. You'd better believe it. That's it, friends. Game, set, and match. Thank you so much for joining me, Mickey Rooney, in the wonderful world of tennis here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the tennis capital of the world. Incidentally, it's a tennis capital wherever you live, too. Be sure and go out onto one of your neighboring courts and get yourself in shape. I particularly want to thank all the people who showed you the beautiful tennis toggery, and I want to thank everybody. I think the resurgency of tennis has come about for 3 reasons. First of all, it's because of the news media covering it so beautifully. Second of all, the superstars that it's created. And third, of course, it's a game that the young folks like myself, 26, 27, can play once more. So get out on the court. For now, this is Mickey Rooney saying game, set, and match. Can I have my racket, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. What are you, some kind of a wise guy?